Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, time for another blind commentary. So yeah, today I'm looking at a My Little Pony review video. Been a while. And no, it's not from any of the people whose content you're probably still waiting for me to get back to. Hopefully, soon I'll be able to do some of those other reviewers, but for now, not quite yet. But this name should still be familiar to a lot of you. Today I'm going to be reacting to a critical Brony analysis of My Little Pony the movie by Jenny Nicholson. And if you don't recall the name, Jenny Nicholson was one half of the duo Sherclop Pones, which made what was, in my opinion, the definitive My Little Pony parody series, Friendship is Witchcraft, back in the day. And, yeah, I just loved Friendship is Witchcraft, and I've loved all the other little things that Sherclop Pones did when they were a thing, really, because it's been 3 years now, and I think it's probably past the point of hoping that there's going to be any more. The last thing was the second part of Horsewomen, the incomplete Equestria Girls parody that they did. And yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting any more anytime soon, so it's probably dead. But what we got was pretty incredible and a big part of the fandom in the earlier days. And the great thing is that both parts of Sherclop Pones, both Jenny and her partner for it, Griffin Lewis, went on to have even greater success post Friendship is Witchcraft, which is really another reason we're probably not getting any more, because, I mean, why do that when they can just keep doing what they're already doing? Griffin has the Fandroid music channel, which has like 380,000 subscribers and makes like fan music for all sorts of stuff. Never really anything that I'm interested in, so I actually haven't heard any of those songs, but I know how good he was at making music for Friendship is Witchcraft, so I assume they're all pretty excellent. He's definitely a talented guy for that. And, yeah, good to see that he's found that success. And Jenny, she's not quite as successful. It's 180,000 approximately subscribers as opposed to 380,000, but she still has had a lot of YouTube success making like vlog videos, mostly about Star Wars. Some other things like films and just fandom in general, but it's mostly Star Wars, which is interesting. And I haven't really been watching her videos either, her content either, just because, well, I'm not all that into Star Wars. I do watch the films, but it's not something I'm super invested in at this point. But yeah, now she has another pony video. I think she actually has another one besides this one, so she might be doing more pony stuff going forward. I don't know, but this one got requested. This one got requested by a few of you, so that makes me think that it's probably going to be a good video to watch and react to, and hopefully it'll be pretty fun. The title is interesting. It does make me think that this might be a more satirical review of this film, just because a critical Brony analysis, that's just like maximum pretentiousness, that it makes me think that this is going to be done rather tongue-in-cheek, which is good because that's really what Jenny's really good at. That is a lot of what made Friendship is Witchcraft work, and what made her review series, her parody review series, back in the season 4 days, Kimi Sparkle work as well. That was basically entirely a satirical review series parodying other reviewers and just the craze that was Brony reviewers in that day. Because that's when it really took off, people reviewing the episodes and just putting their opinions out there. And Kimi was the best. So I guess we'll see how this compares. Anyway, let's just go ahead and get this started. Okay, and here we go.
Well, My Little Brony,
of course she's wearing a fedora.
I've seen the new My Little Pony theatrical film, and while
I can smell the satire already. That's going to go way down.
The film's colorful characters and child-friendly message, some of what I saw in the theater.
Love the Sweetie Bot shirt and the Kimi Sparkle poster.
What every pony in this fandom deserves is a rational, in-fandom examination of how this film ties into all of the pre-existing My Little Pony canon.
Of course.
Beware every pony. There are spoilers ahead. While watching this film, I became overwhelmed by the sheer number of glaring oversights and internal inconsistencies in this story. This film shows a blatant and irresponsible disregard for the pre-established canon of the My Little Pony universe. The film begins with Princess Twilight Sparkle nervous about the arrival of Songbird Serenade, a singing pop star pony that is voiced by and resembles real-life pop star Sia. Obviously, true fans of the show will already notice a glaring inconsistency with the plot. Over the course of the Friendship is Magic series, the main 6 ponies have already interacted with at least 2 famous pop star ponies.
That is true.
In Season 1, Episode 19, we have Sapphire Shores, who is repeatedly referred to as the Pony of Pop. Then, in Season 5, Episode 24, they put on a concert for Countess Coloratura, the pony equivalent of Lady Gaga. I myself find it hard to believe that any of these ponies would be starstruck meeting yet another pop star pony. Not to mention that Princess Twilight Sparkle herself was the lead singer of a successful pop band when she was turned into a human in the Equestria Girls spin-off. Failing
Very
to
valid
acknowledge
point.
This spits in the face of everything we know about these characters. As this was early in the movie, I was willing to overlook this horrifying inconsistency.
Horrifying inconsistency.
I prayed to Celestia that this would be the only
This is amazing.
of its kind. But I'm afraid it gets worse.
Oh.
This movie featured many catchy musical numbers that were clearly inspired by a Disney movie or the monorail episode of The Simpsons, which are the only 2 pieces of media I've consumed that have musical numbers. In Capper the Singing Cat's musical number, I'm the Friend You Need, there is a shot of Fluttershy cowering in an alleyway, afraid of a colony of bats. Later, in Capper's house, when he mentions lions, tigers, and bears, Fluttershy delivers the punchline by fearfully saying, "Oh my." I was trying to enjoy the talking cat's song, but I was abruptly and totally taken out of the moment by this betrayal of Fluttershy's character. Fluttershy is consistently characterized as a friend to all animals.
If you say so.
Fluttershy reiterates many times throughout the series that she likes to receive
I mean, it's a decent point, but I don't think it ruins
appears in the
anything.
opening sequence to this very movie. Not to mention Season 4, Episode 7, which was entirely devoted to Fluttershy's defense of the local fruit bat colony. I can't fathom how anyone would overlook these story elements. I didn't bring my $300 custom Fluttershy plushie to this premiere just so she could witness a character assassination of this caliber. When Capper reveals that he betrayed the ponies and is going to sell them into slavery to settle this
This
debt,
is amazing.
Twilight Sparkle exclaims, "I knew it."
There are people who actually think this way.
After the
That's true. That is very true. That's a good point, actually.
In their magical underwater kingdom, and a castle referred to in toy packaging as Sequestria Castle.
Really? That's what it was called?
Depicts Sequestria as directly beneath Canterlot Castle.
Could have done better than that, Hasbro.
Clearly being situated on a cliffside with only perhaps a shallow river running beside it. Certainly no place for an underwater kingdom. Perhaps more insulting is that Sequestria is an inconsistent name for the Sea Ponies' kingdom. In the 2013 picture book Under the Sparkling Sea, which is canon,
is it now?
Ponies are depicted as living in a kingdom called Equestria.
Oh.
Nice try, Hasbro.
Okay, Sequestria sounds better now.
Sea ponies are in fact the hippogriffs, who have transformed themselves and fled underwater to avoid the evil
Also, we just skipped
King.
over the pirates, didn't we?
I find it hard to believe that Princess
completely
Celestia,
didn't even mention
who was
that.
going to send Princess Luna to the hippogriffs for help, would be completely ignorant to this fact. How could an entire thriving society vanish without any pony in Equestria noticing? Without first having a long logistical explanation of how this worked, it was hard for me to immerse myself in the Sea Pony musical number about having a good time making shell necklaces. The Sea Ponies offer to let Twilight and friends stay with them underwater when the Storm King cannot reach them. But Twilight wants to take their power source back to Canterlot to free her friends from the Storm King's tyrannical rule. But as already established, to complete his evil plan, the Storm King needs to have all 4 princess ponies. As long as Twilight is hidden underwater, he cannot complete his master plan. So logic
just stay
that
there
Twilight
forever?
should remain with the Sea Ponies and wait the Storm King out, perhaps sending her friends back to fight in her place.
I don't think that would have worked.
Princess Twilight Sparkle returning to Canterlot is the least logical course of action. I would expect better from Princess Celestia's most faithful student. In the film's darkest moment, we see Sia's pony, Songbird Serenade, imprisoned in a cage next to the other enslaved ponies, singing sadly to herself. Fans of Sia's Elastic Heart music video will know that the little girl representing Sia is depicted as having the power to dance in and out of cages with ease. Depicting a pony version of Sia trapped in a cage is a blatant disruption of Sia music video canon. If anything, it would only make sense for a pony fight.
Now there's Sia music video
trapped in a cage. Princess Twilight Sparkle uses the magic scepter to turn all of the stone ponies back to their normal state, presumably turning the stone fragments of the Storm King back into bloody chunks, lying in a pile on the cobblestone. I find it frankly quite sexist that only the male villain doesn't get to be reformed. After the evil pony Tempest Shadow is reformed, she reveals that her real name is Fizzle Pop Berry Twist, and her colors are strikingly similar to the 2005 G3 pony Fizzy Pop. Coincidence? I think not. The movie featured many cameos from fan-favorite characters that I recognize. This reminded me that the movie is for me, and that the children in the theater around me would never appreciate it the way that I could have, and made me even angrier that it wasn't what I, as an adult, wanted. The children I was in the theater with seemed to enjoy the movie.
Laying it on pretty thick now.
That none of them grow up to realize what a misrepresentation this was of the core elements that make up the world building of this beloved series. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay strong, every Brony. Tune in next week for my analysis of why the new Powerpuff Girls show is so bad.
That would be interesting to hear. Even though I've never seen an episode of it. It's a lot of patrons. She's pretty popular. Yeah. That's quite the wall.
In the film's climax, the scepter containing all the princess ponies' power is stuck in a high stained glass window, and Twilight Sparkle is racing to reach it before the Storm King can. She does this by making a tower out of her pony friends, but they are just slightly out of reach. Meanwhile, the newly reformed Tempest Shadow is standing in the corner watching, inexplicably doing nothing to help. Twilight even exclaims, I wish we had a seventh, taller friend to help us reach this scepter. I
somehow don't remember her saying that.
Broadcast, but instead Twilight Sparkle got the scepter by just letting go and flying through the window and breaking it and falling into the storm. So.
Well, that was wonderful. So, yeah, that was great. That was a lot of fun. It definitely harkened back to the Kimi Sparkle days. Great piece of satire. Jenny is still hilarious. She just nailed this character, I would say. This person in the fandom who is just far too obsessed, just takes everything far too seriously, and just is all possessive of it. And unfortunately, that's a very real part of the fandom, and yeah, one that is somewhat deserving of ridicule. But yeah, I think she did a good job on that. I like how there was a Tempest plush and a Songbird plush in the background while she was doing this harsh review of it. That just adds a whole nother layer to this character, a layer of hypocrisy, that they would be displaying film-specific merchandise just proudly in the background while they're tearing the film apart and just saying how much they hate it. That's just perfect. That's a brilliant touch of satire and a nice call on Jenny's part. And the character did have a few halfway decent points that were real inconsistencies. I mean, the whole Fluttershy thing with her being somewhat scared of animals at certain points, that's a real, break from the character. But calling it a character assassination, that's just ridiculous. Just taking it that seriously. And the $300 custom Fluttershy plush, that was amazing. Just some of the weird lines like that, like the whole thing about her having never seen anything with musical numbers in it other than Disney films and the monorail episode of The Simpsons. It's It's just so weirdly specific. Like, where does that even come from? And I... Just lots of little great bits in here. What else was really interesting? The whole thing about the Sia video, I don't even know what that was. Apparently there's now a Sia music video canon. I somehow doubt that's a thing. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Sia music videos. I've heard the songs, but I don't really watch music videos. But I somehow doubt they're all supposed to continue into each other. I think that's when you start finding continuity and stuff like that, then that's when you're really in need of help. And what was with Shia LaBeouf? I mean, maybe he's in a Sia video, maybe that's the joke, maybe I'm just missing it because I haven't seen the videos, but that just felt like it came out of nowhere. It was great. And we had her trying to call the film sexist because the Storm King dies. Even though, Capper, his old character, is this guy who is not all that great a person at first, but then is reformed, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I hope that's not a real argument, because, yeah, there's really not much ground to stand on there. And, what else? All that stuff about the merch and that storybook, which I vaguely remember being a thing, but I guess it's canon, and I didn't know that there was a G3 pony that looked like Tempest. That's interesting. And then there was that bit at the end with the stick, and I do agree that maybe if Tempest did join that Tower of Ponies, they might have actually gotten it, but yeah, it still worked out. And of course there's also the point that maybe Rarity could have used her magic, but I don't know if that would have worked, honestly. I mean, with how strong the storm was, if Rarity's power would have been enough. So, yeah. That's also why Rainbow Dash obviously doesn't just go fly up and get it. The storm is supposed to be that strong. So, yeah, Pony Tower is how they had to go. And, yeah, maybe if it was bigger it would have worked, but I definitely don't remember Twilight saying that specific line. That's definitely something invented out of nowhere. But, yeah, good video. Jenny made a great point, and it was all pretty hilarious. And, yeah. Just a fun one. Anyway, hope you liked the commentary. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.